See, you're lying.
Well, I'm trying.
It's upside down.
Take us out of your shirt.
Okay, why is mine not?
The camera's upside down.
What?
The camera's
I'm gonna jump off now that you
Like
get to solo your stuff. So
Nice to meet you.
This is the way to. Nice to meet you too. This is the new way to get out a broadcast. Ready?
Am I being seen?
Jasmine has left the building.
Yes, we're going to see you now.
Yes, Christine.
You mean Yassine?
Oh, I know what I mean.
Because a lot of people.
As long as we can tell whether or not I'm wearing pants, everything's fine, right?
Well, we'll determine that.
Okay.
Camera down. Open Bob's.
Somebody says, "Red, are you okay?" What do you mean? I'm okay.
All right, folks. So the whole Rudolph thing, come on, honey. It's all about overcoming that diversity. And look at me. I've got like next to nothing left on the makeup front because I've been crying. You know, Polar Express had me boohooing through half the songs. Martin's already unconscious next to me because he's not a night owl. I am. But no, Christmas movies, doesn't matter which one we're talking about. I cry over every damn one. I can't resist crying. It's just.
What about Elf?
You're too emotional. I had a young man, not young. He's like in his 40s. He says, "Yuke, I'm going to recommend a movie and you have to see it." And I'm like, okay. He goes, "I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but I just want you to see it." And I said, okay. And the movie was called Train to Busan. Busan is in Korea, right? You're welcome, Grant. So I watched this movie and I'm literally watching this with my husband. And at the end, I'm just like, and then he looks at me. He's like, and I'm like, we will never be able to get back the 2 hours of our lives.
Hey, can you take Patrick off?
Pardon?
Can you take Patrick off?
Yeah, sure.
One of the hardest things, for Martin and I too is going to see movies we've worked on and watching shows we've worked on. We have to see them 2-3 times.
Yes.
Because the first time we're going, don't ever go to a movie with Martin and I that we've worked on.
Yes, of course. Well, you're critical of it, of course.
Well, no, because we'll sit there and go, oh, so that's what it wound up looking like in the final cut. And that's not the color. And we spent, 10 weeks building that darn thing, and it only got 5 seconds of screen time.
Well, that's how it goes, though.
Yeah. And then when it's all over with, we have to go 2 or 3 times because the whole emotional connection to the characters comes after you stop looking at your work.
Yes.
And it's nice seeing animated. I find I'm more affected by animated than live action, because with animated, right, we didn't do anything. We had nothing to do with it. We had no part in it.
Right.
Tonight on Polar Express, it was just like the quality of the animation and the movement of the materials and the just everything about it, and the music and the kids and I kept doing these whole, I wish I had this kind of thing when I was a kid, right? Animation was so simple back then. And so, I don't know, kind of, it just hits me now. It just really hits me. And so I'm a little over emotional. That's okay.
Yes, you are.
Hey.
So,
I'm menopausal, man.
Chris Martin, I'm sorry I don't know your name, but can you, I joined your broadcast this morning, but I found it interesting. So what do you guys do, you and Chris?
I go by Chris now instead of Christina. Partially because it fits better. Martin is unconscious next to me. He's not a night owl like I am. So he's actually quite asleep next to me. Curled up in a little ball with one of the cats. But we are prop makers and special skills actors, and what we were doing on Periscope a long time ago, and we'd like to go back to doing on here on HAPS, is we would teach people how to build. And because we moved back to Toronto, we were living in British Columbia, Vancouver, BC, for 18 years, and then we finally moved back to Toronto, which is my hometown, and we're still in film and television. But you know, the whole COVID thing has shut down our industry. We've only been back. We had only been back to Toronto maybe 2 months. No, not even that. And everything shut down because of COVID.
Mhm.
So we came back for work that now doesn't exist. So it's been a very interesting ride. So we're hoping that by being on the social media more and reformatting our skills to something a little more personal, like doing personal quotes, cosplayers, things like that, we can still keep our skills up to date and still. It's the philosophy of if you teach, you relearn. Right. The more you
Yes.
teach, the more you remind yourself what you're
True.
doing and what you're capable of. And that's what we're hoping to do here on HAPS. But we have to kind of fill our time, or the brain goes to mush. We're living in a 700 square foot little studio place,
Big change.
kind of work live. That we used to live in a 1,700 square foot house with a backyard and a driveway and everything. So this is
It's a
bit of a
big
shock
change.
to us.
Yeah, it's. I remember when you guys were moving from BC Toronto, that you had to physically leave so much of your things that you loved behind. But you know what? It's okay. Because you're going to build more new things and make more new memories. And it just, it just didn't fit your life. It didn't have any room in your current place right now. So on to bigger and better new things, and just keep going forward.
Well,
I really look forward to your streams, and I look forward to watching them because I love watching people make and do things because it really helps me out too. I use a lot of what I learned from YouTube, like even Adam Savage. I know that he doesn't do too much now, but the tips and tricks that he does, I just really holds true, and I soak it all in. So I look forward to seeing you guys do this.
Have you watched Tested?
Yeah, I watched Tested. I watch all of his YouTube videos and everything. And what I meant by not doing so much now is that because of COVID, that he's been locked into his shop most of the time, and I think he's really struggling to find things to do, which is very saddening.
Right. Well, the worst thing about being an artist in any way, shape, or form is it's feast or famine. One moment you've got all the money in the world and you actually pay your bills and you're finally up to date and the creditors are leaving you alone, and then the next you're like going to food banks and hoping to God they got the food you can eat. It really is a life. I've been at it since I was 8 years old. I'm now 52, and I started as a kid reporter when I was 8. Martin was very creative as a child. He was a very bored kid on a farm with 2 German parents who survived the World Wars and Second World War, and so he's got quite a history. So his artistic background is a little different. His parents wanted him to be a domestic, and he's not good at that. So hey, he found me. But we met at a Doctor Who convention in 1987, and we're big, huge geeks, Whovians, Trekkers, name it. Into Star Wars, the whole works. So it's been quite a lifestyle for him, like a huge change for him. It wasn't as big a change for me because I grew up in it. My father was a reporter, so I started doing that. But this whole building and acting and doing characters is so much more expressive and creative than being a reporter. I love being a reporter. Don't get me wrong; it was fun, but I'd rather do this. I'd rather build things. I'd rather create things. I'm hoping to. Right now, we've got a massive. I don't know if you guys have I don't know if you guys have seen any, but this is our tree.
Nice, very beautiful.
Yeah, but it takes up about 60% of the place.
It's okay. It won't be there forever. You enjoy it.
Oh, I know.
Well, I can tell you this. Your tree is way more beautiful and just larger than mine.
Oh yeah, Matthew. Oh no, because Matthew, then you're gonna have to go back up.
I can go up and take a picture of it.
We've got 14-foot ceilings. We've only got 700 square feet, but we got 14-foot ceilings.
Wow, very nice.
So
well, the good thing
we had this crazy idea that we were going to get a tall tree for the first time in our life. We're going to get a tall tree, and we didn't think about how wide it is at the base.
So, Chris, I heard. I heard the word reporter. I mean, were you a reporter, or you say your dad was a reporter, or?
My father was a political reporter.
Oh, okay.
He had a 45-year-long career, and before he finally passed away at a very young age, unfortunately. He was 62.
Wow, that's young.
So, yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, he got me into reporting when I was 8 years old. He started doing media training. He switched gears from doing regular reporting to actually doing media training, and the first person he trained was me. And then he'd use me as a kid to kind of catch people off guard and intimidate them, to show them how easily it is for someone to get information from you. So I had the pigtails and the little dress and started interviewing very sweet and kind and typical little girl, and then turned nasty on them the first chance I got. My father and I bonded very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I was referred to as Kid Metro back then. I was part of the Mr. Toronto show, and so I interviewed comic book artists and kid producers and Santa Claus every year, and that was my thing for a few years. And then I started getting into acting and building and creating. Started doing costuming. So I've done everything from being a camera person. I was a City Pulse camera person for this was in 1988, when we had the cameras on our shoulders and the VHS machines on our hips.
The VHS. I don't think Retta knows what that is.
No, I don't. What is that? I was just gonna ask that.
The VHS and the betas.
So that was way, way, way past. That's old for me.
Go ahead.
That's old for me.
Well, we're talking 1988, so
So yeah, I was way, 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 way not in this world yet.
Not yet. No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh wow. Yeah, I sometimes
Probably I'm the millennial over here in this broadcast.
I would say so. Yes, I would say so.
I forgive you. 8-track cassette, Grant. Oh my God, 8-track. Jesus, I remember those. The big hot thing back then, like a VHS tape, was about that big. And,
well, I do remember that. Yes, when I was a kid, I used to watch those. Put in the movie and watch.
Now imagine one of those on a shoulder strap. So you carried the machine on your hip.
Oh, in the shoulder here.
It was plugged into your camera, which was bigger than your head.
Yeah, there you go, Yuk. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite. It definitely reminded me. Yeah, there you go. It definitely reminded me that I actually had, muscle somewhere. So yes, it was the first time I discovered, that muscles existed.
Speaking of that, Grant, I joined his broadcast. I think was it 2 days ago, where he has a CD, old CD. I forgot the name. I don't know. He has to tell us here, but way, way old, where you put a big CD and then you play it.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know the word.
A laser disc?
Laser disc.
I think so.
Yeah, laser.
Yeah, they're as large as like records, like vinyl records.
Well, the first major, oh my God, arcade game that used laser discs was Dragon Quest, and I remember you had to let the damn thing load between every level. You stuck your quarters in the machine. You stuck 8 quarters in the machine, and it was your $2 play. And every single level
tree.
Don't laugh at my tree, Uke.
I'm sorry.
Give me 1 second. You don't have to take it down just in a moment.
He sent a photo of his tree, and this tree is it's very sad looking.
Oh.
But Matthew, You didn't send like a close up of it though.
Is it not? I sent 2 of them. I sent 2 images.
Oh, did you? Okay, let me.
Like a Charlie Brown tree?
Yeah, it's a close up. If I didn't, I can resend it. So we also have tall ceilings, and we had the same idea. Finally, we can get a tall tree, and it's. I mean, I kind of feel your pain, but not really. Our tree just isn't as big as yours.
I'm sorry. It was just one photo, Matthew, that you sent, I think. Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna send another. I'll send it again.
Is it okay if I show that?
I'm sorry.
Is it okay if I show that the one that I got, or is that private?
Oh no, definitely. You can show anything that I send you, except for the personal stuff. That's only for me and you.
Well, I'm not going to determine what.
I'm joking.
Eggplants.
I'm joking.
Like eggplants.
I'm kidding. You can show them both. That's the reason I said it.
All right, guys.
Let
me see. Are you gonna share a picture of Matthew's tree?
Well, yes, it's right here. So I'm actually gonna get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Oh, it's like it's on its side.
And hey, Matt, is that some Christmas gifts right there?
Over in the corner.
Well, I see a big blue.
Oh wait, it is sideways.
Yeah, it's weird.
No. Yeah, that is a Christmas gift. Wonder why I did that.
Wait, that blue one, that's a Christmas gift right there? Man, you're lucky.
Yeah, those are. So we have 25-foot tall ceilings, and the tree should be in there now, Yuke.
Well, I see a little one, yeah.
I would like to think of it as very
modest.
Yeah, modest. That's what I was thinking about. It's a very modest tree. Oh, Yuke, I think that if you change like the grid layout, then it may do it.
I did, because you could do a fit-in container or fill container, and I did.
Yeah, but try changing your grid as in stack.
Okay. So how about
what happens?
I'm just going to kind of get rid of you guys and get rid of me too. I'm
Yeah.
just going to get rid of everybody and see if we can like get a good look at this photo here. No, it's still sideways. But here's the one.
Okay.
See, it's on sideways.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so that's our beautiful, modest Christmas tree, and we really enjoy it. I cannot wait to replant it in the yard if it springs roots.
That poor tree. Yeah, so there it is. There's the tree.
Oh my.
All right,
it's adorable.
This has been fun.
You ready to go? Have a wonderful night, and please.
Thanks for letting me in. I'm just gonna go and make some peppermint tea, water, because I've been coughing the whole time.
Sounds good. Oh no! Well, drink up on your water. Oh, honey is very good for you. You just said honey, because honey, even if you don't want like your peppermint, if you just take honey and hot water and you just drink that.
I got this little feeling here in my throat. I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna go have some warm water and.
Very good.
And honey. And
yes, very good, very good, very good. Well, thank you, Retta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
night. Good night, everyone. And Retta, it was very nice. It was very nice meeting you, Retta. Have a great night.
Hey, likewise.
Pleasure,
my dear. Christina.
Grant, you were talking about albums. I had to give up my whole vinyl collection when I moved to British Columbia. Because it just wasn't going to come. I only kept about 5 albums, and the rest I had to give up. But since then, a friend of ours has saved a bunch of albums from someone else's collection, and we managed to inherit them all. I just haven't gone through them all. A few of them were so messy, I had to just literally scrub them down carefully so I could play them on my record player. But I've fallen back in love with vinyl. I definitely have. That's a beautiful thing to have vinyl in my life again. There's something
nostalgic.
You can't replace the feel of a record. You just can't. It feels
I don't think that unless I was in elementary school and it was a story like vinyl record, I don't think I've ever really listened to records.
Really?
Yeah, and we have an old Wurlitzer jukebox upstairs that needs to be fixed, and it has records in it. I cannot wait to get it going, just because I want to hear. I want to hear the difference between the digital and the analog.
Well, the new vinyl is interesting because I've got a friend last Christmas bought me some new vinyl, like Guardians of the Galaxy, both albums and stuff like that. And the new vinyl is so much more solid and thicker. Like, I mean, it's got a different sound to it too. It's a cleaner sound, but the difference between the two is just amazing. Amazing.
So is the sound different in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. It's clear.
Okay. Yeah, the ones that we have, I think the records are older because it's like Bob Dylan stuff. They're not newer records, and they're 72s. So
wow.
I can't wait to get it going.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No. Hey, you should broadcast it when you get it going. Broadcast it. That would be.
Yeah,
fun.
I think I'm going to take it out. I think I'm going to take it out to my shop and do like a full YouTube video on repairing it. See what's going on. I think it's just belts inside of it that just the belts won't spin to be able to lift the records and move around and everything. But I think I'm going to do a YouTube video on it at some point.
And you can still find needles for older players too, which I think is great.
Yeah. Matthew, did you see what Lena?
Yeah, I actually think that they have a whole pack of them. I'm sorry, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, did you answer Lena? She wants to know how is your tree even holding up those big balls?
Well, there's a bunch of wire that's holding it up. No, I'm good. It's actually just the top of a tree because the bottom was messed up and it was going to have to be moved, so it would have died anyway. I'm just really praying that it does start setting roots. I doubt that it will, but I really hope that it will.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Joanne. Merry Christmas. Those of us that are in California, it is 44 minutes after Christmas. And those of you that may not know, Deb in here, Debbie, her birthday is the day after Christmas. So early birthday to you, Deb. I know there's a difficult time of the year for you because you lost your husband around this time, but we are all here for you, Debbie.
My father's birthday was also the day after Christmas.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Debbie. You'll be in my prayers, son.
Yeah. It's a weird time of year, especially for people who have anything happen around it. Like Martin's still dealing with his parents passing away. His father passed away in December 2019, and that Christmas was really surreal because we had just headed back to Toronto. So we couldn't really be with the family for Christmas that year because of the chaos. And then this year, like his mother passed away in March, just before the first lockdown. So we had this really surreal funeral for his mom. So Christmas is weird for us this year because we expected to be with the family and we couldn't. Today we had to do a Zoom family get together, which was, the kind of thing we did when we were living in BC. We expected by the time we got back here, we'd be actually having a family gathering, and it didn't happen. So it's been kind of surreal. It's been really unusual. And of course, I still follow, even my father's passed, I still celebrate his birthday because I feel a need to,
Yeah, well, he's still here. I mean, he may not physically be here, but he's your angel. He's watching over you, making sure, if you're like stuck, if you're like, I don't know what to do, and he's sending you signs. You just have to look for the signs.
Yeah. So on the 26th, we usually have like a beer. He was a big fan of rum and Coke. I'm not. I tried it once.
Hi, Joanne.
That's it.
Well,
no rum and Coke.
Nope.
Yeah, honestly, just as long as you guys are still, okay, this sounds kind of corny, but science does prove this, that whenever you have his energy inside of you and you project these good things about him, that is literally the same energy that he would emit. So it's not that he's gone, he's still there. It's just that you guys are the ones who bring him out. So he's always going to be there.
My father and I, when the divorce happened between my parents, my mother basically became a family with my 3 siblings, and I became very much a family with my father. So there was a bit of a separation that kind of existed in us. So my father's passing affected me a lot more than the other 3 kids. And I'm sure when my mother does finally pass, it's going to affect the other 3 more than me. So it's interesting how the dynamics in our family kind of wound up that way. The divorce wasn't just between my parents, but also kind of between the siblings. So it was really kind of surreal for me to lose him that way. But I've learned a lot about myself, because there's a lot of things I didn't research until after he passed away, including that our family has a history of alcohol abuse. It's not just the fact that my father was an alcoholic. We actually have a genetic disposition to alcohol. So I'm learning all about how to control that and what it actually means for, genetics and body, and, what happens with a person. A few weeks ago, I actually wound up in the hospital, massive pain in my heart. And I discovered I have a small hole in one of my arteries that could be a genetic, part of that genetic disposition.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been going for tests, and during COVID, that's interesting, going to the hospital to do these tests, but they don't want to wait until the lockdown, lets up. So they're making a lot of exceptions for me. And that's been an interesting adventure, finding out that I actually have a genetic hole in one of my arteries that came from his family line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of a history of alcohol. So I wouldn't have explored any of this stuff or even thought about what was happening with me unless he passed.
Right, right.
So
there's...
It's like him giving up life has given me life.
Right.
Yeah. There's
great way of looking at it. Great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
How much do you believe, do you know how, people listen to, 432 hertz, and it helps your body and it helps your mind to be free, and there's certain energies within items around you, because everything has its own energy. And, are you a believer in this kind of thing? As in...
I don't know if this makes sense to you, but part of my biggest struggles when I was a kid, and this is why part of the reason why I got involved with art to the level I have. I'm what they call an indigo child, but I'm also a high functioning brain. So they kind of contradict with each other, because the high functioning brain wants to level up all the different scientific explanations and everything I experience, but the indigo just wants to feel it and experience it. When I was a kid, I didn't know what was my feelings and what was my classmates' feelings type thing. I had no way to differentiate.
All of this can be backed up by science. My relative, Royal Rife, if you ever look it up, he was the inventor of the Rife machine. He worked with Nikola Tesla, and they're making machines now that do the same thing that what he did. He did electromagnetic energy pulses that would put out waves of energy, kind of like you can use sound, and if you match the frequency of the glass with sound, it'll shatter the glass. Mm-hmm. So it is very scientific, and he has he cured cancer 8 different times, and it's on the books, and everything that they studied, it was because of that. And he ended up getting shut down, and it's a lot to do with the FDA and everything. But I took up a lot of his work, and I've been studying a lot of his notes that we still have. And these are the only notes in existence. So whenever I started, the reason I'm so passionate about wood stuff is I started studying the energies of wood. And, I've been doing it with oak and maple, lots of different things, okay? And there are certain woods that I will build out of, and I will sell to people because it does, whenever you're around it, I've built bed frames for people that have sleep issues, and it helps put them to sleep because those energies are there, and it's certain frequencies that go out. And even though the wood is dead, it still has that to it. Everything does. So I build things. I'm sorry.
I was really happy to get back to Toronto. And you know, she's watched some of our experiences, and she's right. It was quite the adventure to even get back here. And a lot of people were asking why we were so driven to get back to Toronto. You know, work was part of it. Medical was part of it. British Columbia was not giving me what I needed on a medical level. But the big part of it is it's an old city. I mean, you can walk up to a building and you can just touch the brick and just, you know, literally feel the history of the building.
Magical.
And
Yeah.
Whereas
So
British Columbia is about nature, which is great, but it didn't talk as much to me. You know, it's the brick and the wood and the stories of the buildings. And I mean, the oldest building in Toronto goes back to 1595.
and that's energies. It's what they emit. It's their certain frequencies, and frequencies do heal. So there's certain things that I make, like I've been planning to make a jewelry case that has the energies of love and healing. And if you ever need anything like that, like maybe just follow me. If you ever like something or if you ever have a request, then I build it out of that certain type of wood, and it emits these energies.
Don't follow him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. But
don't follow him.
It's such a positive.
In fact, I'm making something for Uke. And it's just going to be surprise energies. And whenever she just starts dancing everywhere she goes, she may feel a little bit insane, but I think it'll be amazing.
Thanks, Matthew.
She's going to be the Asian Ellen, except for she's not going to be mean and horrible to everybody.
I'm not going to mistreat everybody. That was not good publicity for her at all. That's a career killer, man.
No, but she come back out and she was like, "Oh, I've always been known as the nice person," or whatever. I'm thinking, people just said that you yelled at them and you would fire them for no reason, and you're the nice person. But she's become kind of maniacal.
Well, her brand, her brand, because the thing that she stood for was be kind. Yeah, be kind. And so then for all of these, and some celebrities came out and, kind of didn't give her a good word. And then all these employees and high executives came out. And, when you have that many people that are that powerful up in the company, and for them to say something like that, to make those type of claims, they know the risk, in their own careers. So, there's a lot of merit in what they say. And it's just kind of unfortunate that, her brand really is all about be kind, and human kindness and all this stuff. And then for all of this to be exposed, it's devastating to her career.
It is and it isn't. It really has to do with what.
Good night, Lena.
Like, I mean, I co-ran one of the best festivals in British Columbia, one of the biggest festivals in British Columbia, and I did it independently. I didn't, I didn't do it with government grants or anyone else's rules. And we had a co-producer that basically walked off with $279,000 and did nothing but slander us. And it took nothing for them to actually accomplish in trying to destroy our careers. And to a sense, they did. To a level, they did. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's this industry. It's this
bites.
One person, all it takes is one person to cascade it, and then you're screwed. Like, I mean, we couldn't get a break. We couldn't. They pretended to be Martin, sent out fake emails, and lost all our vendors for the festival. That was the first thing, and then it was nothing but slander and slander and slander, and one little loophole in the contract because they didn't get a proper lawyer to look it over. And before we know it, we can't even go to a party without being yelled at. So, Martin and I basically shut down for a few years there. And it happens. It's an industry. A lot of people don't know what to do with it, don't know how to survive it. And it can shut you down, but it'll either shut you down for a few months and your career is going to have this huge hiccup, or it'll shut you down forever and walk away. you know, you really have to decide how to handle it in the long run. And we decided partially by coming back here that, you know, we were going to start fresh by returning to where we started from.
Right.
And it's hard, but it's working.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Well, good thing is too that you're in the same field as Martin, and so you speak that language.
Yeah.
It's a bittersweet kind of a thing because it's a good thing that you speak the same language, you guys can understand it. But then the bad thing is you're in the same field, so if it hurts you, it's going to hurt him. And those of you that have been watching and have not been loading up on your water, please go get some water.
Do I need to go get water?
Yes, you.
God, you sound like my.
Are you not a everybody?
You sound like my old drill sergeants and officers. Drink water.
Stop being defiant. Just go get it. That's a solution.
Ma'am.
That would just shut me up now, wouldn't it?
Can I get Gatorade or Powerade?
No. Do you know how late it is? Unless you have Gatorade Zero or Powerade Zero, why are you taking
it's zero.
Sugar for?
It's zero.
You're not getting any skinnier, Maddie.
You're competing with my kitty cats at this moment.
No, it's because so many people don't drink enough water, and they get dehydrated, they get moody, they overeat because they think they're hungry, but really it's just your body saying, I'm thirsty.
I'm going into the menopause saying there's such a thing as false appetite. Once you get to this point, I don't even know when I'm hungry or not anymore. I just eat. It's horrible. And the whole COVID thing, I really have to stop eating.
There you go, zero.
I am not going to fit any of my outfits by the time this whole COVID thing is over.
Don't worry about that.
You know what?
Don't worry about that.
I was drinking water. It's carbonated seltzer water.
Okay, that's good.
Well, no, this is has 5% alcohol in it. So I had one to lay me down, but honestly, carbonated water will not hydrate somebody. I did not know that, but for some reason it just doesn't do the same. I don't know. Maybe it hydrates to a certain point. But okay, so back to what you were saying about people in Hollywood and slanders and everything.
Mm-hmm. Can get ugly.
The hard truth and reality is that they are the masters of illusion, and that's just the truth. They're the masters of illusion. So whenever they come out and they speak on things, I don't necessarily take anything to heart because they live in false realities. They make false realities all the time.
To a certain degree, there's two types of industry people: those who want the money and those who want the art. Those who want the art are willing to starve to do their thing. They need to sell because they need to live, but they'll sell within a certain degree. They've got their limitations. They do what they do. Yeah. Those who are there to make the money are the ones who burn out real fast, real soon, and tend not to make it. They just don't. If they're smart, they'll be producers and walk away from the actual artistic part of it because it's not worth struggling with it. We've had so many young people come on set and they're like 19, 20, 21 to 25 type thing, and they're just starting their careers. And they're like, oh, I met so-and-so when I was with so-and-so and I did so-and-so and blah, 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 blah. And you're sitting there and I'm looking at them going, so what? Can you do your job or not? I really don't care who you know. Oh, it's who you know, not what you know. That hasn't really applied much since the 70s, quite frankly. You want to burn out fast, get out, you keep this attitude up. Because, you're going to go. We've worked alongside some really big names, and to us, it's just they're on the job just like we are, and they need to be respected just like we do. We don't think about it as, oh, hey, I'd rather say to you, I worked on the Star Trek movie in doing the panels for the Enterprise. Then I got some time with Patrick Stewart. I have had some time with Patrick Stewart, but for me, it's because I was building something that had to fit on his head. So we needed his head. And he was a great guy. We talked, we chatted a bit. Very creative, very artistic, loves his Shakespeare, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not going to call him my best friend because, well, we're not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that. And, you know, you just speak truth. A lot of people would be like, yeah, I know Patrick Stewart. We hung out. And, you know, that's just a false reality. That doesn't exist. And,
Exactly.
you know, that's projection, and it's it's wanting attention for people to be like, oh, that's so awesome. Tell me more about it. And they want people to get close to them. But in all honesty, it just doesn't exist. That truth is what they say is truth. That story is a dead story, and it does nothing but bring death. You know, after it's.
Although
I mean, there's so much to it.
You know, I do admit I have a great time when we go to conventions and people want to hear all the great stories. And of course, we exaggerate a little and we add a little of this, we add a little of that. They leave feeling good, but I don't go home with the story, right? I go home to be me.
I mean, believe me, I'm a fisherman. I know all about telling just a little bit of a stretch. But like, yeah, that fish was that big, but really, I'm only measuring between the tips of my thumbs. I'll tell you something else. This is something that I've grown up with, and I can really tell a difference is the vegetables and fruits that you buy from the grocery store. You can take those seeds out and harvest them, but they cannot reproduce. It's literally it cannot bear fruit ever again. It cannot reproduce. It cannot bring more life. So it's nothing but nutrients, and it has no life in it. So this year I bought this pack. It's called Heirloom Seeds, and I think it's like 144 different varieties of seeds. So whenever, like, it's just tons of bags of seeds like this, and this whole thing is full. So in my garden, I will be able to grow a plant and dedicate that to seeds that will be able to grow. Even the seeds that you buy in a grocery store, they're GMO. They've been modified. They can't reproduce. So it's nothing but nutrients. And I really don't feel, I mean, because there is no life in it, I feel a lot different whenever I can grow my own food and I know it's like heirloom or heritage, that it'll grow more food.
It's impossible for me to grow. Like, me and plants just do not get along. What do you like with plants? Because you're a great seamstress, but what do you like with plants?
Not good.
Really, you too?
Not good.
Go follow my YouTube.
Don't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
teach people
Don't
how to
do
grow
it.
a garden and how to grow plants. It's called
Okay.
Rooster and the Hen. I'll be changing the name later on. But there's certain things to plants, and you can say that you kill everything, but it's honestly not that hard. Honestly, if you can raise a dog or have a dog and they stay alive, you can most definitely raise a plant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my mother said about the spider plant that presently is hanging up there and is dying.
Do you water it? Do you put nourishment in the soil to where it can soak it up? Do you let it be around other plants so they go ahead? Whatever you remember. Yeah. That may be the reason it's dying. Just a guess. I think they require water sometimes. But I'm going to teach people how to make soil. Dirt is not soil. You cannot just put dirt and expect for a plant to grow.
Are you going to do compost?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing composting as well. But like all of my eggs, I save the shells because it has calcium in it. And if my chicken eggs start to get a little bit thin or weak, I can feed them. I can put more of that in their food and their grain, but I can also put it in my garden, and it'll help the garden.
Oh yes,
yes. There it is. My poor. It had much more extensions and everything, and now it's just like this thing of about 3 sticks. Oh, I zoomed in somehow. Damn it! There we go. Like, it just no. Well, part of the problem is keeping it out of reach of the cats.
Go to the store and get these plant food sticks. They're just little sticks, and you just put it in the dirt, and it'll start move. It'll disperse itself in the dirt, and it'll become more soil-like. You can add a little bit of nitrogen. Your cat, you have a cat, use the cat poop and put it in the soil, and it'll help that dirt.
I'm going to show you.
Grounds to
I'm
help.
going to show you a picture of my mom's garden. You're not going to believe this. I'm going to actually just get off the screen here and take everybody off. This is my mom's garden right here.
That is amazing.
And that's only part of the garden. There's another whole entire part on the other side of the house.
That is gorgeous.
That isn't even at its fullest either.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm going to be ordering chickens soon. I can't wait to have my chickens.
Yeah, that would be cool. And, eggs. I mean, to have fresh eggs. And then they're going to lay so many eggs that your neighbors are going to be your new best friend now.
Yeah, and I will set them out next to the road, just like with firewood, where I do tree work. I'm going to be able to get a lot of wood and bring it to the house and just bust it up. And I'll put it in bundles, and I'll set it out right next to the front at the gate. And I'll do it on the honor system. I'll say, take a bundle, leave $5. And I'll do the same things with fruits and veggies. I'll put those out there and put a certain price. If you take a cucumber.
They do that here. Yeah, they do that here. Same thing.
Wow.
Off the honor system?
Yeah, honor system, yeah. I mean, where we live, it's kind of backwards. But I remember we moved here, 18 years ago. And everybody in Southern California, everybody had internet, everybody had email. And so we moved here and went to an interview at one of the companies, one of the biggest companies here. And they're like, we're very excited. We're very up in technology. And we have email now.
Wow.
Like, email? Okay, never mind. I don't want to work for you.
I'm gonna go back to CB radio.
Oh my God. I hear there's still people who do that.
Well, my girlfriend told me, she said, well, if you just do that, people will steal it. And I said, well, if they steal the wood or the food and they really need it, then that's fine. But if they steal it, if they steal it and they take it home and they don't need it, then that's not going to do well for them at all. Yeah, like somebody could come to the house and be like, listen, we don't have any wood and we need heat, or we don't have any food and we need food. Can I get some of it? And I'll say, just take it all. And I will give every single bit of it to them. But because if they steal it, nothing good will come from it. Yeah. They may stay warm for a night, but it could also burn down their house.
Right. My mom does this. My mom says the same thing. Like she would leave some, vegetables and fruits that's surplus, and she'll just leave it on the garden, and she'll just say, take or tip or whatever, so I could go get more fertilizer, get more wood for her trellises and stuff. And I'm like, Mom, you can't just leave them out there. I'll monitor. You got to be like, here you can have a few, but you got everybody in the neighborhood has to share. And I go, some punk is going to just drive up in his, in his truck, and he's just going to take it all. My mom's like, well, if he takes them all, it's because he needed it more than I needed it. So let him have it.
One of our crew on Stargate, one of the prop makers, his wife, like him and his wife had a hobby farm, and he would bring things in all the time. And we would just like whatever we had in our pocket, whatever change we had in our pocket or whatever. And he started bringing in eggs, and Martin got all excited because Martin grew up on a farm. I grew up in downtown Toronto, and Martin got all excited. So he pitched in some money for the eggs and brought them home, and he had a great time with them. I got sick. I mean, I just couldn't do it. So every time the veggies came in, I pitched in money to get veggies off of them. But whenever we got eggs, Martin ate them, I didn't. And I would go to the store and get. So it's amazing how, because he grew up with that, he was able to do that.
Yes.
But my body was happy with the veggies, but my body couldn't take the eggs for some reason.
Yeah, they're a lot richer, and they're more of an orangish color than yellow.
Yeah.
So if you take it
Very
slow,
orange.
yeah, if you take it slow and you don't eat them all at once, and maybe just eat like half an egg mixed with other stuff, like on a sandwich or something, like a breakfast sandwich, then your body will get used to it. It's because it's so rich. The yolk in an egg is actually the food. It's the food for the baby chick for the first week. The white of the egg is the actual baby chick. So you just have to get used to that mixture. And you will, and you'll understand, and it'll be more fulfilling. And later on, if you go back to regular eggs, you'll be like, "What is this cardboard?"
I gave up. I just gave up. I just couldn't do it. I gave up. But
so Murdoch,
Murdoch,
you want to follow Chris and Martin Carhunger. If you like Stargate. You're going to be if you like that type of genre, she's going to be right up your alley. They do a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I already was. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. You follow her on Periscope. Well, good. Now you found her on Haps because Periscope is like bok, bok, bok.
Chris, if you have any kind of props or anything that were used on set for Star Wars, you let me know if you ever want to get rid of them. I'm such a huge Star Wars fan. Or Star Trek. I'm sorry, Star Trek.
Star Trek. Now, the hardest thing about most productions we work on is we build and then it's out the door. And one of the rules on the NDAs we sign is the fact that we the designs come in and we build. So if you asked us for a quote for, say, if you're into Star Trek, if you wanted us to quote making you one of the phasers, we could do it because we've never made a phaser for set. But if you asked us to come in and build, say, the movie bridge, we did all the touch panels for the movie bridge. We can't do that. I can make you a classic Batleth, but I can't make you a modern Batleth because we worked on them and in the most recent Discovery. So there's this fine line, this gray factor when we build for other people, that we have to be careful, because one breach of an NDA and there goes your career. For example, we still have in the collection a lot of things that we've accumulated as gifts back when it was easier to get gifts from productions. A lot of the things we have now disintegrated or just don't work anymore. And one of the things we've managed to keep in one piece is the visor, the Cyclops visor from X-Men 1, from the first movie. We did those, and we got one of those.
So wait a minute. You have the specs on a Batleth? How much would it cost to make me one? Maybe we can do some swapping.
We normally would make them out of aircraft aluminum. So
that works.
I'd have to check on what the going rate for aircraft aluminum is, but
well, I mean, even just regular aluminum, because I'm not going to be using it. I'll just hang it up. But I understand aircraft aluminum, it is a lot stronger. It's got something else in it, I think.
The last time we asked to quote one of those was a few years ago, and it would be about $400 a Batleth. But I'd have to check on what the going rate for the aluminum is now. But yeah, it'd be probably around there because I don't think it's gone up by much.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you watch my YouTube or follow my Instagram or anything, if there's anything you like, maybe we could do a good trade on some items. Because I would love to have a Batleth just to hang in my shop. God.
Well, if you look, we used to work for Paramount Home Video where we did a lot of promos. We used to go out and do store openings, product releases, and stuff like that. So there's video out there of me swinging them. It was my first weapon back in the 90s, the early 90s. And now I'm shooting guns and swinging steel blades. So the level of weapon use has gone up over the years, that's for sure. But it's been a while since I swung a Batleth.
What are you eating?
He's making a lot of noise.
Oh, boom, chicka.
But yeah, get a hold of me.
I'll mute it.
Let me know. Right now, when Christmas is over with, we've got a custom order for a lightsaber that we've got to focus on and get done.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm always happy when I hear that you guys are working on something, because that just means it's a some form of consistent income, and being that you guys kind of got the short and the stick, and it was a lot of money that you lost out on. I'm very heartbroken for that. But you guys are such troopers and so strong that you said, you know what, that sucked, but let's pick up, because we have to start again.
I both think
I'm going to be honest, you had me at bat lift and lightsaber.
Yeah, when our webpage went down, that was interesting. Our whole production list went down. We had no backup archive of our production list. So Martin and I have been going through photos, because we had to pull the albums apart when we moved. So we took all the photos and put them into small boxes and got rid of the albums, because the albums were bulky. And so we're going through the pictures now to try to rescan them and put together a new portfolio.
Good.
And
Good.
I don't know what some of these pictures are. I'm looking at them going, what production was that? Damn. So yeah, there's I think we did more than we realized, and we're starting to realize how much we've actually done. And I don't know if I should be happy or exhausted. I just,
both.
We'll work on it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm always glad to see you guys. When you guys put up that Christmas tree, I was really happy for you guys, because it may not, it's the little things, it's such symbolism to be able to have come that long of a way, and then to say, you know what, we're going to have our Christmas. We're going to, we're just going to enjoy it and enjoy what we do have, and not be worried about, what we had or what we don't have. So always good to see you like this. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Do you have the specs for I think it's called a Dactang? I'm looking at it right now. It goes with the. Oh wait, maybe it's a Mek'leth.
Oh, the Mek'leth
Klingon sword. Yes.
Oh, it's up in here. We're not allowed to have copies of any of that.
No, but the specs of it, like that you could draw it. I guess I could look at the film and I could draw it, because like I can see sizes on it.
Don't get her in trouble, Matthew.
No, I don't want to get you in trouble. One of the things I'm going to be doing.
You're trying to get her to be permanently unemployed. Is that the deal here?
I mean, if you're going to go all out. I'm kidding.
No, you would not.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
We have had, for the Cyclops visor, the number of people who've tried to buy it off of us. And we're like, number one, it was a gift from the production. It's not going anywhere. Number two, we love sharing it with people. It will no longer come to conventions anymore, because it's gotten brittle over the years. So it just stays here. It'll go virtual, but it's never going to physically go to a convention anymore. And but we'll still do, we'll still measure it for people and take photos for people. And people are like, no, we want to buy it. I said, but the big thing is, we signed that NDA. We can't even take a mold of it or make a replica of it. We can do everything else on set that we didn't directly make, because those aren't under our NDAs. But that visor is under our NDA.
Yeah.
And people are like, but I had one woman in the States who said, I'm a cop, don't worry, I can hide it. And I'm like, and she offered us $45,000 for it.
No, it's worth way more than that. So quit being a cheap bastard and cough up the money.
I said to her, I said, listen, it's not worth the career.
Exactly.
We'll send you measurements and you can make your own. But if they want something else, like other costume pieces or parts from X-Men, it's fine. The stuff that we didn't directly work on, we can get away with it. But because we worked on that, we can't. And it's just like, it's amazing. We've had people ask for molds of it. I'm like, no, I'm not taking molds of it.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. It's not even worth it. Yeah. Short-term gratification, long-term regret.
But things like lightsabers. We've never worked on Star Wars like that, so we can make lightsabers. We can, we've got our R2D2.
Yeah.
We've got. We can do the pistols. We can do any of that because we didn't directly work on those parts. Yes, the batleth.
Yeah. So the mechlith, the one at the top. What I'm thinking about doing is I want to take a nice piece of straight grained hickory and somehow incorporate. I was thinking about. I didn't know what kind of blade to use at the end of it, but I really want to make like a mechlith now. And I'm thinking if I do like an axe handle with this palm swell at the bottom, it'd be great for brush or cutting the deer's head off if I ever happen to get in a fight with the deer.
A lot of times we make that kind of weapon out of aluminum, usually aircraft aluminum, because it's much sturdier, much lighter, and then we never have to put an edge on it. It'll do damage with or without an edge, quite frankly. But the one thing about aluminum is it stretches over time, which is
you guys
why
are so geeky.
Yeah.
And then VS chimes in. That looks like Cabal's weapon on Mortal Kombat. First off, who the hell is Cabal? What the hell is all of this geek talk that I'm not like getting?
We're sorry, you. We didn't mean to do that.
No,
it's just a natural reaction.
But it is getting late, and I'm supposed to actually be wrapping presents with my husband, and I think he actually wrapped all of the presents while I've been goofing off on here.
Well, it is 4:23 a.m.
I know, and you need to go to bed, girl.
I'm such a night owl for
it. I do too.
But no, Maddie actually was phasing out over there until he stuffed his face with some popcorn.
Martin is not.
Yeah, I needed that little energy boost. Plus, my girl's already in the bed, and she's like, "Will you come to bed? It's Christmas Eve."
Well, hello, excuse me. That should be a no.
No, but she wasn't.
That should be like, bye.
She wasn't feeling well.
Oh.
I do not go to bed. Huh?
That's a pretty big knife for such a little man.
Honey, this knife is only 6 inches long. I'm a tiny guy.
Are we bragging now?
What a great husband. Wish him a Merry Christmas. I will. Thank you, Lenny.
Whenever I get up out of my desk chair, I jump down. She likes to pick on me because I'm short.
Well, no.
Thank you.
I am gonna get going soon though, so I can, at least help clean up the wrapper that's all over the place and help him put some things away so he doesn't think that I didn't help out. She spotted you, Maddie. I wasn't gonna say it. I can see hear him putting the dishes away, which I should go help.
I'm gonna go ahead and go as well. It is late. Thank you for allowing me up here, Yuke. You are always a blessing, and I enjoy talking to you.
Likewise.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you too, Chris. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We made it.
Yeah.
And God bless.
Yes. Thank
Everyone
you.
take care, stay safe, all this stuff.
Please tell Martin we say Merry Christmas too when he gets up.
Yeah, wouldn't be.
I don't know how to end. Oh, there it is.
He don't know how to end. I just even okay. There you go. Thank you guys for being here. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you, Chris. I'm so used to calling you Christina, but
you still can.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. Oh, and Chris is cute too. I like Chris. Thank you for coming on, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing well and have a Merry Christmas. The important thing are people, and Martin's here, and everything else is just fluff.
Yes. Yes, true.
Thank you, Lenny.
Take care of yourself, darling. We'll see you later.
Okay, bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, you guys. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas to you guys. I'm going to remind you one more time before I leave. Some of us know that there are people that's going to be by themselves during the holidays. If you know someone that is by themselves, and please take your 5 minutes, your 10 minutes out of your crazy day. Thanks, Susan. And please give them a phone call, because a lot of times they're sitting there and they're, not feeling too good about the whole situation, that they're not invited to any dinner or no one called to wish them a Merry Christmas. And just by that, getting that one simple phone call, it could be very profound for them. So if you guys know someone that's by themselves, please do pick up the phone and just say, hey, just wanted to say Merry Christmas, but I'm too busy. I gotta go. But I just thought, I just thought about you, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. So yes, you'll do that. Thank you. So I will see you guys later. Merry Christmas, you guys. We made it until almost the end of the year now, and it's been quite a strange, scary year. But we're gonna go through this. We're gonna ride this. We're gonna ride this until everything's back to normal. So thanks for staying with me. It has been an extremely long broadcast, but it's so nice to meet a lot of new faces and reconnect with a lot of you that I've known from Periscope. And, I feel very blessed. I feel very blessed to have you guys come and join me, day after day, just the shenanigans that we do, and for all your support. Thank you, Lion Crowns. Thank you. So Merry Christmas, you guys. I'll see you soon. Be safe.